Welcome. Good afternoon, y'all. It is Sunday, August the 19th, the third Sunday of the month. And I am your host, Linda Morgan, here on Jazzabrations Live. I know y'all can feel the excitement raising up in my throat right now because this is our 1 year anniversary. Yay! I made it 1 year, y'all. I made it 1 year. And with everything comes change. Change is always happening. Change is sometimes good. Change is sometimes bad. But for me, change is always happening. And I'm so excited for change because after surviving here 1 year by myself, I got me a co-host, y'all. I got me a co-host. Not only just a co-host, I got me a professional co-host. And he is here with me today as we kick off our 1 year show, our 1 year anniversary. We're going to have a toast at the end to toast this 1 year in. And we have guests that we're going to be inviting on to our show today as well. So please, with that warm Jazzabrations Live applause, help me welcome my new co-host, Mr. Torrance Brandon. I'm going to say his whole name because I want y'all to know.
Not the whole name.
He said not the whole name. Just Tory. That's how I'm going to say it, y'all. Right. Tory Reese in the house, y'all. As y'all can hear that background clapping, I got me some in-studio guests today as well because they come in here to help me celebrate this 1 year anniversary. Tory, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. You can hear it all in my voice. I'm so excited.
I appreciate being here.
Because we're going to take our show to a whole nother level for this year.
Let's do it. Let's keep rising.
Jazzabrations Live will now be called Jazzabrations Live and Beyond because we got so much beyond jazz and blues. And because our lives parallel our entrepreneurship. We are business owners as well. So we got to open it up for all of that side of our lives for people to, not only our music loving side, but our business side.
Cultural stuff, all kind of stuff going on.
He's a mentor. Tell our new audience about you.
My greatest role is as a father.
I
have 4 girls that I brought into the world. I have 5 grandchildren. Very proud to be in that role, most important role. But primarily, I think of myself as an artist. Grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana, singing in the French Quarters early on. Grew up around music. New Orleans is full of music every day of my life. And so I was, honored to grow up and sing with a group called the Sensational Uptowners before leaving home to come here to L.A. in my 20s. And, sung on stage with people like the Neville Brothers and Ernie Cato and King Floyd and all those homegrown heroes that come out of New Orleans, Fats Domino and others. Then went to the military and got out, went to school, 2 marriages, 2 divorces later, here to stand in Leimert Park for the last 20-something years, contributing what I can to what I call the Leimert Park Cultural Renaissance. And just happy to be here and to have survived a lot of things that God has blessed me to survive and to not only survive but prosper. So I'm honored to be your co-host and your partner now.
Yes.
Let's do some stuff.
And he just left out a whole lot of things. Let's tell us about the singing group and the mentorship. Give them all of it on this first show so they know who you are. Because when we get into the business of things, they need to know.
Well, for the past 15 years, I've been 1/5 of a vocal group called Street Corner Renaissance. It's an a cappella doo-wop group. I call it doo-wop soul. We do all kinds of music. We have been around the world. We've been on national and international television. Right now, we're on PBS on a show called Doo-Wop Generations with Little Anthony and the Imperials and other groups that, are still here and still doing their thing. The music is still alive and still growing, I would say, and we want to continue to preserve it. I also, as an artist, do something called Everything with Soul, where as a solo artist, I have a band that is in place to preserve New Orleans style music. The Neville Brothers is near and dear to my heart. They're not doing it anymore, but my band, I think, does the best New Orleans music this side of the Mississippi. And we've been on festivals, and we're actually playing next Friday at the Hot and Cool Cafe. Next Friday at, I think the event starts at 6 and goes all the way until the wee hours of the morning.
You will get that flyer up when we come back off the break,
yeah,
too.
I have that one. I'm most proud to be, as an educator, to be the founder of a program called See a Man, Be a Man, and a program called Princess to Queen. These are programs for young at-risk youth. I call it at-risk communities, because that's what we are.
Right.
And we've been at Locke High School for the past 4 years, fifth year starting now. And we were at Audubon Middle School for 13 years. And the programs have been around since 1994. They fall under the umbrella of a nonprofit I founded called the Foundation for Arts, Mentoring, Leadership, and Innovation, Family Inc., 501c3 nonprofit agency. And we service about 120 youth on the campus of Locke High School. Last year, we recognized the 100% graduation rate for black males.
That's important.
And I'm most proud of that work. We shadowed all statistics about black males not graduating, they can't learn, they don't want to listen. All they want is somebody who understands, and they know that the person or the people love them. And that's the first part of it. And when they understand that, when they feel that, they're open to learning. And all of our students have gone on to college or enlisted in the military, and they're all productive citizens in society. So I really believe in these young people, and I think that we as older people have to adjust and change and understand. We got to do more listening than talking when we encounter young people, and I think there's a lot for us to learn.
Right.
So, yeah, I have a lot of things that I'm involved in. I just have always been very active.
Yes.
And just can't seem to sit still. So I write. I play the guitar. I'm a poet, published poet. I'm working on my first book, and just doing it. I graduated from USC last year with my MSW, so I want to continue my educational pursuits and get my doctorate soon also.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I got me an all-around star, y'all. Got me a star. Got me a star in the house. I have to remember to look at my camera, and I look up there at that big old monitor that's up in front of me. Yeah. But that's so important because I have learned that I have to listen more, too, because I have a 17-year-old who is off the chain. Aaron Morgan sends me over the moon, and I have to just stop sometimes and just listen. Mm-hmm. So I get it when you say that, that we as older adults need to listen more to these young folks. Because I got mine I got my testimony right there. Right. As always, if you want to call in and talk to us, the number is 323-293-3375. We'll take your calls anytime. We welcome them to come in, say hello to us, and just chit-chat and tell us hi, congratulate us on our 1 year. Mm-hmm. LaRon, you're going to have to change that Jazzabrations Live with Linda and put a W and slash, just Linda slash.
You got to put my name up there. Yeah. I want my name on that board. I want my name up there. I'm going to talk like Muhammad Ali until you put me on
that board. Right. So we'll shorten that and we'll make sure when we come back off the break that we got
all right
Jazzabrations Live and Beyond with W, Linda, and Torre, Torre.
Don't forget to put the accent after the E.
With the hypothesis. So, yes. So this is our platform. When I say our, I mean me and you. We're just going to build it. We have sponsorship opportunities for those who want to come on and help us to grow this, to be able to reach out to small businesses, because our second segment of the hour of our show, we're talking strictly to you business owners and you small business owners and you medium-sized business owners, even some of you large ones who want to help us out. Come on here and bring your service, talk about your show, your product, your business, and let's bring it out to our community.
That's right.
We're both here in Leimert Park. I live in Leimert Park here, and I'm a stakeholder. We're both stakeholders here in Leimert Park, watching this renaissance happen as they continue to put this train down Crenshaw, and it continues to start turning other colors of people coming in. We're here. We're going to stay here. Right. We're going to watch them walk their dogs.
Show you how to
We're
walk
gonna walk our dogs with them. We're gonna get some dogs and be walking with them.
Some big dogs.
But I just say that.
Can I jump in right there?
Yeah.
Because next Friday is not only music, but it starts out with a panel discussion.
Right.
We have some scholars and some artists coming to discuss the history of Leimert Park Village.
Right.
Where we are now and where we're going. How are we going to get there? Like, what is it that we want? We have to know what we want. We have to be clear about our objectives and our goals in order to reach those goals.
Right.
And if we're confused, then we can't expect anyone else to understand us.
That's right.
So we're going to have that discussion at 5 o'clock at the Hot and Cool Cafe. And then after that, we're going to the Fernando Pullum Youth Band is going to be there. Then we have a reception, and then my band plays at about 9 o'clock.
All right, so it's going to be a full day next Saturday. Right. And that address to Hot and Cool Cafe, they are on Facebook.
I think I got it.
4331 Degnan.
Yes.
And that's right around the corner. That's in the heart of the Leimert Park Village. So please look them up on Facebook. Tell them that we told you to like their page, and you heard about it here on Jazzabrations Live and Beyond. And we look forward to seeing you next week on Saturday at that show. But as always, we want to welcome the community into our show every first and third Sunday. Mm-hmm. Hey, look at him. He's doing it already. Doing it. That's right. He got it up there, Jazzabrations and Beyond with Linda Morgan and Tori Reed. Put another, is that got 2 R's in there? Okay, I can't see, but it looks like it. But as always, you can call us, 323-293-3375. We got the baddest engineer on this side of the planet.
Yeah,
my boy LaRon just hooked us up. As we talk on the fly, he can hook us up. It may be a little small for you older folks generation, but just know it says Jazzabrations and Beyond with Linda Morgan and Tori Reese. And the number is 323-293-3375. We'll be right back with more. Oh, look at it. He took it up. I'm sorry. I'm just being silly because my boy is back there doing it. Thank you so much, LaRon. He is doing it. We'll be right back with you in a moment here on Jazzabrations Beyond with myself and my new co-host, Tori, in the house.
All right.
In a sentimental mood, I can see the stars come through my room, while your loving attitude lights up a flame that lights the gloom on the wings of every kiss. Drifts a melody so soft and sweet in this sentimental bliss. You make my paradise so complete. Rose petals seem to fall, it's all like a dream to call you mine. Ooh, my heart's a lighter thing since you made this night a thing divine. In a sentimental mood, I'm within a world so heavenly, and I never dreamt that you'd be loving sentimentally. lighter thing since you made this night a thing divine.
Welcome back, y'all. We took that short break. We wanted to get that naming right and get the history behind it. Again, I'm your host, Linda Morgan, with my co-host, Mr. Tory Brennan.
All right.
Tory Brennan now. Tory Brennan.
Hey.
That's in the house. That's right. See, I told you we got the baddest engineer on this side of the planet.
He's a bad brother.
Yes, he is. Thank you so much. And
Who
as
that?
always, you can call us, 323-293-3375. We're taking your calls. We're just chilling here on this Sunday afternoon. We're here every first and third Sunday of the month. Mm-hmm. Both of us are really busy, so some Sundays you may just see Tory. Some Sundays you may just see me because he's busy. He's traveling, I'm traveling. So this way we'll be able to keep the show going for you and covering all of the things that we want to talk about in a particular month.
Yeah, one of us will always be here.
That's right. Hopefully both at the same time, but when we can't, one of us will be here.
All right.
So like he was saying, in September, the first and third month, we have the Labor Day. Isn't it the Labor Day Festival?
I think we go, that weekend, there's going to be 3 days. I believe.
Right.
Yeah, right here in Leimert Park.
Right.
And
we have
Sika and Aziz.
Right.
Yeah.
So here in Leimert Park, we have a festival. We'll probably get some of them to come in on that first week of September to talk about it, help promote that for them, because we're here all about our community. Mm-hmm. We're here first for our community, and then we'll go beyond our community. But I want to make sure that we cover anything and everything that's going on right here in our little part of the world, right here in Leimert Park Village. Right. It's a 4-block radius. But we extend a little bit larger for the village of Leimert itself, which runs from King to 4th Avenue to Crenshaw to Vernon. So it's that kind of the block space of where, when we say Leimert Park Village, that's what we're really talking about. Okay. But, so yeah, we as always, it's a blessing that we made it for a year.
Right. How's it felt for you? Let me ask you a couple of questions, if you don't mind.
Sure.
First of all, what inspired you to even do a radio talk show?
Well, what inspired me, I came on to Crystal Mitchell's show. Crystal does a show here on Fridays, 3 o'clock, her and Gilbert. Mm-hmm. And I came on the show, and we were talking, and they had me on talking about at that time I was doing my monthly Jazzabrations series at our church, where I was honoring jazz and blues legends once a month. And then she said, Linda, you're just such a natural. And so many people called in, and so many people were chimed into that show. She was like, girl, you need to just get your own show. I was like, girl, I did this before. I don't really.
So let's go back some more. So people, I know you probably talked about it when I wasn't here, but where did you start loving music? And why did you start loving music, particularly jazz? Like,
I don't. No, I'm just kidding. See, my loving of this music came through pain. So I came from an experience of someone trying to steal the legacy of someone famous.
Give me an example of what you're talking about.
In the jazz, I worked for the Long Beach Jazz Festival for many, many years. I volunteered and helped out there. And so I was going through working as Al Williams' manager. And he's a straight-ahead artist. And so I was trademarking the word smooth ahead because I had told him, you're not no straight ahead, you're a smooth ahead artist. Okay. So I created this whole logo and started promoting it. So as I was getting that logo trademark, I had my attorney to just run his thing at the Long Beach Jazz Festival, and come to find out, bam, somebody was trying to steal that from him right up underneath his nose. And so that led me to believe, okay, to start thinking, who else is this happening to? How many other African Americans is going through the same thing with their legacies? And so that prompted me to start creating a whole series. We did a panel discussion with Buddy Collette, and I started talking to him, Cora Bryan, Michael White. Bless Michael White's heart. He's no longer here. But through that pain of understanding what was going on with him, it became bigger than that. They were stealing their names, everything.
On and on. Well, we know of the legacies. For instance, we did a concert in Utah with Chuck Berry. And Chuck Berry would not accept any checks or any credit card transactions. He wants all of his money in his hand in cash.
Wow.
I don't care how much you're paying him, you have to pay him in cash. And I heard that Aretha Franklin was the same way. By the way, we have to do a shout out to the Queen
That's
of Soul.
right, the Queen of Soul. We're going to bring her up, bring a picture up of her and see if we can play something. But, you know, YouTube always try to, when you play somebody else's music, they cut it out. So we have to be careful with that. But, shout out to her for her legacy. You know, 76 years young.
Right.
And, you know, so that prompted me to really start figuring out how to protect and really understand the legacies, help these musicians to protect their legacies while they're alive, which henceforth came the Living Legend Foundation. I don't honor the dead. I don't do nothing with, you know, people who have gone on. And that's probably a reason why I deal with death the way that I deal with it. I don't mourn death. I celebrate death. Right. And everybody gets mad at me about that because I don't cry. And, you know, I mourn my way because I'm celebrating life.
Gotcha.
And so when somebody passed, to me, that was just their time is up. Okay, next.
Yeah.
But, you know, I have to be a little sensitive sometimes depending on who it is because everybody don't deal with it the way that I deal with it.
Yeah, I understand.
And so that's how the Living Legend Foundation came about, and that's probably why I'm always celebrating.
Well, you know, I'm from New Orleans, so when we pass on, we celebrate.
Right.
You know.
And that's what they were saying. It's a big
when
party.
When I die, second line.
Right.
You know, so.
And know that when I go, I don't want nothing but a jam session. So make sure that everybody who know me know. Linda Morgan, don't want no crying, no casket. You ain't going to see her because my kids ain't wasting my insurance money on none of that. We're going to have a party.
Okay.
So that's, you know, that's my backstory. And
that's
so
beautiful.
I needed a platform to be able to come on and start having my own interviews with these legends. I've celebrated them in the past 8 years. So then I wanted to interview them and just talk to them and see how they're continuing on in their lives and their endeavors. Some of them are still performing, some of them are not.
Right.
Some of them going on to glory, some are still, you know, the majority are still here.
How do you see young people coming into jazz in the right way? I don't know what the right way means at all, but do you see them playing instruments?
Oh, absolutely. I have a crop of young, I got a Facebook page called Young, I used to call it Young Guns, and the old people like, we don't want them guns. No, too much violence, then we ain't calling them guns. So I changed the name of the page and call them Young Lions. Young Lions and Lioness of Jazz and Blues. You got the Darren Deans, the Jamel Deans, the Jamal, the Caleb, young fellas, Aaron Shaws, all of them out here doing it.
Right.
I'm part of Dola Coker Jazz Scholarship Foundation. I'm a board member with them, and so we have auditions every March for them to perform for scholarship dollars in April. We do that every year at the Macy's. So, you know, as we start kicking into our shows, these are things that we'll start talking about and bringing in the young folks and letting them talk about what they do. So that's why Beyond is not only just our old jazz heads, but our young jazz heads that's coming up, how they're going to continue this legacy and beyond.
Right.
So, yeah, definitely.
How do you feel about the distinctions that people created between jazz, blues, R&B, rock and roll, soul? Like, there's all these different so-called genres. And it seems to me that sometimes we get caught up in these different distinctions, and some are better than others, or some are not as sophisticated. Like, people will say, well, jazz is, you know, the sophisticated, intellectual.
You got your crazies in jazz, too, so don't believe that. And in my 8 years of doing this, been doing this business, I can tell y'all, they ain't all that sophisticated, you know, but don't leave it there. That ain't my business. It's just Linda Morgan talking. But, no, I think music, period. I don't think we should have no labels, but you have to you know, they have to
identify.
Right. They have to categorize it in order to sell it. You know, they got to have a brand name on it in order to sell it.
Right.
You know, because we don't own it. We ain't owning our stuff. Somebody else owning it and selling it and getting the rich royalties of our. Don't have me go. Come back, Linda. Come back. Don't have me go down there.
Well, I was talking to Gerald Ballard, you know, the great drummer who's always here in the village, and he talked about how, you know, he doesn't want anyone to identify him as a jazz drummer or a blues drummer. He plays it all.
Right.
And I was sharing with him how in the New Orleans idiom, in the history, that the musicians never classified themselves. People did that. But Louis Armstrong and those cats played everything, you know.
Right.
Otherwise, they wouldn't make money. You
That's
to be able
true.
to play everything, you know. So they didn't have the labels until somebody decided that, you know, we need to have labels.
Right, and
like that.
and interesting enough, Jock LaSure just did a post on Facebook, and he started talking about let's go into it. If you're a singer, you should be able to sing anything. Don't just say you're a jazz singer or a blues singer or a soul singer. If you can sing, as in singing like Aretha Franklin, then you can sing it all.
Right.
And she was an example of a singer who could go from opera to rock and roll.
Exactly.
And so those are the reasons why you don't want to box yourself in.
I'm so glad to hear you say that. But I had experience once where I hired some musicians to play in my New Orleans style thing. And we don't, you know, when we say New Orleans, we don't just mean just music that comes out of New Orleans, but a certain style, certain, you know, rhythm or what have you. But I hired a couple of jazz cats who call themselves jazz cats, and it was terrible. I could never play with them again. They couldn't get out of it. Funky.
Right, they couldn't get out of that jazz.
Funky. Yeah, so it's something behind it, you know. Mm-hmm.
So as always, you guys, you can call us in 323-293-3375. We've talked enough about us and our new relationship here on the show. We're going to come back off a break. We're going to bring on our new guest for our first show, who's here to talk to our business companies, owners, entrepreneurs, and all that. So we'll be right back with Miss Shirley Johnson helping us to kick off our first year.
All right.
In a sentimental mood, I can see the stars come through my room, while your loving attitude lights up a flame that lights the gloom on the wings of every kiss. Drifts a melody so soft and sweet in this sentimental bliss. You make my paradise so complete. Rose petals seem to fall, it's all like a dream to call you mine. Ooh, my heart's a lighter thing since you made this night a thing divine. In a sentimental mood, I'm within a world so heavenly, and I never dreamt that you'd be loving sentimental me.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to Jazzabrations Live. I'm your host, Linda Morgan, and as always, I got me a co-host, Tori Brandon, right here to the side of me. Yes! So excited about that, y'all. And so we went through our first 30 minutes. Time really goes by really fast. So we are into our second half of our show, and we have invited our guest. She flew in all the way from Maryland to come and spend a week with me on my business side of things. And so I'd like for you to welcome our guest, Miss Shirley Johnson of Elite 100. Welcome to our show, ma'am.
Oh, thank you so much, Linda. I am so excited to be here with you this week. It was truly an honor, especially I didn't even realize it was your first anniversary of the show, and then to be a part of your mother's 88th birthday celebration yesterday was just totally breathtaking to me, actually.
Oh, thank you. My mom got off and started singing. She broke out into a spiritual.
Yes, she did.
What was her saying? Oh, I'm not tired.
She said she's not tired yet.
She's not tired yet. But before we get into that, Shirley, somebody is calling us. So we're going to take this caller. Welcome to the show. Who's calling us? Hello? Who's on the line? They hung up, Lamont? Hold on. He put you on mute. Somebody's calling in. So we always welcome our callers. Okay, go ahead.
This is Peggy Avila.
Hey, Miss Peggy Avila. How are you, dear?
I am doing great. I'm listening to your phenomenal, awesome show, being blessed by the both of you. And I would not let this time go by without saying congratulations.
Thank you.
You're doing a phenomenal job bridging together, bringing the musicians and the jazz together where it originated from. I really embrace what you're doing, business-wise, music-wise, and you wear a lot of hats and you do many of the things. You're a one blessed young lady.
Thank you.
I want you to keep doing what you're doing. Love you much, and I support you in all that you do.
Hey, well, thank you so much. I definitely want to invite you next Wednesday for lunch at the City Club if you can make it. So that's a private invite over the air.
Okay.
So I'll call you.
I accept always.
Okay, I'll call you after the show. Thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome. Your show is awesome. Love listening.
All righty.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Thank you. One of my long-term friends calling in to say congratulations to us on the show. So I appreciate that. So as we were saying, Shirley came in from Maryland to spend the week with me on my business, put on my entrepreneurial side of the hat. So, Shirley, you have some questions you wanted to ask me in reference to my mom's celebration and how that all came about and what we're doing there.
Well, absolutely. So, Linda, it's been a couple of years since we've met.
Yes.
And just recently I was telling people about how I ended up here in the last 30 days. We were at the Power Networking Conference this year.
Yes.
And Linda was following me around with that laptop and her cell phone, texting me every hour because I'm the CEO of Elite 100, but I'm also one of the founding partners of the Black Wealth Alliance. And we had several workshops there, and one of my dear partners and friends, Dr. George Frazier, is a longtime friend and partner of Linda's as well. And so she participated in our workshops, and she said, you know what? In the last couple of years, I've been paying attention, but I really wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize what you guys were doing. And we have a mission, $1 million babies. Okay. And we're working, collaborating with nonprofit organizations, churches in the area, across the country actually, and individuals who are just understanding our mission to educate and empower in the African American community through financial education, financial literacy. We know that's a crisis across America, but in our community especially, we have some major issues that we're trying to overcome. And so we're just trying to come together, collaborate, and work with those who are already in the community seeking to do the same thing. And so when Linda sat down and really realized what we were doing, she said, wait a minute, I need to bring this to my church. I need to bring this to my family. So she said, my mother's 88th birthday is next month, and I need you to come. I'm going to get all my family together. So she kept texting me saying, meet me in the lobby, meet me downstairs. So I met her in the restaurant, and she had like 20 pieces of paper. I meant to bring that picture today. 20 pieces of paper. She said, these are all my siblings. These are all my nieces and nephews. Wow. And I think yesterday, what did we come up with, Linda? 119?
127. 129.
129.
Well, put 130. I want to be on that list.
She had her whole family on the list. And so I said, Linda, this is amazing. We need to document this and make a documentary out of it, actually, because there's so many families that need the information that we have. And Linda is serious about making sure that her family got the message, right? So my question to you, first of all, is, why now? Right, why now?
The why for now is because I got it. Being around and hearing about it for 2 years, it didn't dawn on me that my family wasn't protected. That I'm sitting around all these financial conversations year in after year in, and never once did I think about my family. How could I connect this to my family? But this was something that I felt that it was tangible, that I could connect to my family now. Not later, but right now. That's why I decided I need to do this and tell my family about it now. And now being at the time where this is my mom's legacy. That's the reason I got 127 nieces and nephews, is because of her legacy. So that's my why as to why I think the timing is right now.
Right. And how do you see the information that we shared yesterday, or how would you like to see the information that we shared yesterday and the opportunity that we shared with your family yesterday to really get engaged and to become educated so they can empower themselves? When we know better, we can do better, right? And we can meet, our goal is to meet everyone where they are. Right. There's no time is too soon, it's never too late. And so, what would you like to see the outcome being of yesterday's event?
Well, I would like for every one of my nieces and nephews that gave us a forum to really be able to take that next step and to really go into their own personal lives and to see where they need to take their insurance or get insured for their family. I have nieces and nephews that got 5 and 6 kids, so they deep. And nieces and nephews, nieces who have kids kids. So,
can I have a question?
Sure.
When you mention insurance, in the mind of most black people, many black people, they think that it's something that happens after you die. What is the benefit of this knowledge?
Absolutely, and that's a great question. So I like to say the insurance that we're talking about is not your grandmother's insurance. Okay. Right? Because most people know about term, whole life, universal life, final expense. Remember back in the back in the day when they were coming, the debit man was coming to the door picking up grandma's $5
every first of the month.
Right, and then a lot of times when she passed away, they were saying, well, there wasn't any money there. So a lot of people think they have. They're skeptical about it. They think it's a scam. They don't know enough about it. They think they can't afford it. They think they have health issues that won't allow them to qualify for it. So I like to call those old policies death policies, where someone else benefits if you pass away. But in the sense of where we are today, it's 2019, right? So life insurance has evolved to the point where we have life insurance products that you don't have to die to use. 3 things are going to happen for sure. We're going to die. We're going to get sick, or we're going to live a long, blessed life, and neither one of those things are going to happen to us. When we talk about life insurance now, we have policies that we can offer from someone 14 days old to 85 years old. Policies that can begin as low as $25. We can meet you where you are. We can write death benefit policies up to $1 million without any blood, urine, or medical required, just the medical questions answered. And insurance is not just used for the purpose of death anymore. It's used for when we talk about business owners, and that's one of the things that we're going to talk about when we talk about launching Why Women Now. So many business owners don't realize that is the first step to planning for your legacy and making sure that all of your financial bases are covered. This is a $1 trillion industry that we're in, and there are so many ways that insurance vehicles will allow you to make sure that you have tax-free income guaranteed for life, that you never run out of money as a business owner. All of the work that we're doing out here right now as entrepreneurs, business owners, or just individuals working 9 to 5, working 2 and 3 jobs just to make it.
Right.
We want to make sure that all the time and energy that we put into our businesses and into our families, if something does happen to us, because like we said, it's not if but when and how, right? So when it does, we want to make sure that we're transferring the wealth and we are able to leave a legacy, and it is affordable, and that's what we, the goal is to. We're just begging people to give us an opportunity to share the information. It doesn't cost anything to be educated, and that's where we lack in our community is the education.
Go ahead.
Oh, this is so much fun. I get the next questions. Nonprofits, you mentioned partnering with nonprofit agencies. In what way do you partner with those agencies, and what?
Great question. Great question. So, the Elite Wealth Empowerment Foundation, that's my nonprofit arm of my profit side, but we're back through the LISA initiative. The LISA initiative, so I'm an insurance broker as well. I'm a certified financial education instructor. And through the brokerage that I represent, we have a relationship with the National Financial Educators Council. So we have our own private label curriculum. It's approved in all 50 states, and we can go into the public schools up to the 8th grade. And we focus on everything from financial psychology to entrepreneurship to business startup. Why not to take a payday loan? What you need to do when you're going to purchase a car. But we have over 45 different modules, and they all deal with financial education. And so we are working in the prisons. We're working in women's shelters. We're working in after-school programs. We're working just with families. For instance, the event that Linda had yesterday, we're going to turn that into a documentary, and we're looking to go into family reunions so that we can really, our family has a reunion every year. We're on our 53rd or 54th, I forget which one it is, but on Fridays we have the hospitality. On Saturday we have the dance. On Sunday we have the cookout. Well, every family needs to carve out an hour in that 3 or 4 day itinerary, and let's put together an hour for some education, right? To do similar to what Linda did. So we that is our nonprofit arm. We come in and we partner with. I wrote that down. I wanted to talk to you about Princess to Queens. That's definitely something that we want to follow up and talk to you about. We'd love to come in and share what we have. You can pick the modules. We'll talk about what your goal is, for your girls, and we can design a curriculum that will work for you.
So it doesn't just stop at the 8th grade?
No, it doesn't. Our curriculum, we have over 45 modules, and we can go in from preschool age all the way up to seniors.
Because, with our boys, we talk about financial literacy, and we'll be talking about credit, for example. And they don't understand the concept of credit until you say, well, you ever gave somebody something on the strength? And they say, oh, yeah, on the strength. I mean, they got to, that means you trust them enough that they are going to give back what you loan to them. And that's how they understand it, because the language is foreign to them. Investing and all that stuff.
Well, we have the modules are broken down by the age and by the group, so we can create it to meet them where they understand it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that definitely be good for him with his mentoring that he does in the schools as well. So definitely. So and that's why when the light bulb came on for me, for my family, having actually putting all of their names on a spreadsheet and coming to really find out that I got 129 nieces and nephews. I'm like, and half of them are under the 18. Of that 129, the majority of them are under 18.
Right.
So a child's been born every year in my family since 1979.
Well, I think this is fantastic because I know growing up, no one ever talked to us about, okay, here's how you handle money. Here's what insurance is about. There was no conversations, just like with sex. There was no conversations about sex. You found out about it when you made a mistake, or when your friends told you about it, or you saw TV, or stole a magazine from somebody. Right. So this is a fantastic conversation to have.
Right. So that's why I'm excited, and I'm glad for you to be here to kick off our 1 year anniversary, because we're going to be talking about this, throughout the whole year, about how we can help, families really get the best and the most for their families.
Right. So. And we have so many events going on this week. I mean, we just got here yesterday, actually, but we'll be here until Friday. We have several events going on for the community, for business owners, for nonprofit organizers, or anyone, individuals, family members who just want to come out and really hear what we do. We have several events going on this week, and so at the end of the show, I guess we'll be able to share that information.
Right. Well, we were honored to have Mr. Frazier at. I go to the African Spiritual Center on Western and 78 Carras. and he actually came, and we were all blown away. Just brilliant.
Oh, yeah. That's my mentor has been for 12 years.
Oh, really?
And so when she talked about the Power Networking Conference, that's a conference that I go to annually. And this year was in D.C. We're moving to Houston, Texas.
Can I go next year?
Yeah, for the next 2 years. It's in Houston.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm there.
I'll make sure you get all that information for that. But, so I'm excited. We're into our last 10 minutes of our show, and this is our 1-year anniversary, and my co-host and studio engineer, she's bringing us a champagne toast.
My favorite.
Yes. And so I wanted to make sure that we got that in on air.
Girl after my own heart.
Celebrating our 1 year.
All right.
It has been 1 year, y'all.
So what did we do down here?
Why don't our guests come on over here on this side so our studio audience,
can see you guys.
y'all can be a part of this toast with us.
All right.
And LeBron, can you come out of there, or you got to work the board? Come on, because I want them to see who's been helping me to hold this down for this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there I am.
So y'all can fill in the...
Yes. If anybody would like to say something on this toast, you're welcome to. Congratulate us with a toast.
Congratulations, Linda, Jazzabrations.
On a job well done.
And I'm going to be here all the time. Always.
Don't be crying. Shut up.
Yes.
And I'm the crier. I'm always happy.
Kudos to you, young lady. You're doing a great job, and now you've expanded, and you're going to go straight to the top, wherever that is.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you do. It really matters.
And thank you. This is LeBron. He's in the background all the time. Our studio engineer who helps us keeping it going, keeping it running for the next year. Y'all be careful.
All right, that's great.
Drink it up. See, I get the good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you guys for being here as my friends. It takes a village. And that saying is so true, because it takes a village to help people keep their wings flapping, to keep going. Because many a times I said I wanted to quit, and this one right here, she was like, no, you just going to keep on doing it. Just cut down. Don't do 4 shows. Just do 2 shows.
Right, there you go.
But you're not quitting. So I appreciate her for helping me, keeping my arms up and saying don't quit. And she's here.
Every time I come back to town, I'm coming. This is my seat.
That's right. Come back, you're welcome
Got a seat.
to come back and celebrate with us.
Yes, indeed.
Salud.
Salud. Thank y'all. So let's finish talking this last 10 minutes, y'all. Get back over on that side, y'all. Thank y'all for coming.
Quit hollering at us.
You got 10 minutes.
Thank you, Ride or Die. See, I got me a Ride or Die partner now, too.
All right.
But yes.
Well, that was tasty.
Yes. So, like you were saying, we have a couple of events this week coming up. Tuesday at Morningside for church leaders, church administrators, church pastors to come out and get this information.
Anyone in the community. It's
Right.
open to anyone to come out. Mm-hmm.
And that's 1 to 2
Mm-hmm.
at Morningside United Church of Christ, 8722 Crenshaw Boulevard. Most of you know where my church is. Okay, so we got somebody calling in. We'll take a break for them. Welcome to Jazzabrations and Beyond. You're on with Linda and my host, Tori, and my guest, Shirley. Who's calling?
Hello.
Oh,
Hi, who's calling?
This is Kelly Reese. How you doing?
Hi, Kelly.
That's my daughter.
How are you?
That's my oldest baby.
All
right.
Thank
and
you
I
for
have his grandson, Bresden, here, and Brian.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Special, very
That's
special.
right. We're spreading the love now.
Well, thank you for calling in to talk to your father.
Yeah, we wanted to just call in and wish you all a happy 1-year anniversary and a congratulations to my dad for becoming a co-host.
Hey.
Well, thank
This
you.
is a nice surprise.
That's
I didn't know they
beautiful.
were calling.
Well,
That's
yeah,
wonderful.
absolutely. And every week, if you could help us share it on Facebook and social media to all the friends and family so that they can get acclimated to come and watch us once a week, and they'll always be able to play back the shows, but watching us live is very good.
That's right.
Okay, definitely.
All right, family.
But thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you for the show.
All right, and keep on watching and share it out.
All right, we sure will.
All right.
All right, love y'all.
Love you too.
Bye-bye. Oh, that's so awesome. So, yeah, that's always because, you really want to be able to reach out to the community and for them to hear us and to call in and just say, hey, and then share it. Always feel free to share our show. Jazzabrations Live is on Facebook. It's on YouTube. Like it, share it, share. The more you share it, the more others will know about it.
I have an event I would love to have you to present at, and it's the Ivanhoe Rivers Film Festival. It's November 16th through the 18th here in Leimert Park. We're going to do a reception at USC, which is my school, of course. And that part is not covered, so let's talk.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
That's a critical part because we're doing
right. Financial education, financial literacy in our community is really needed, you guys. Yeah. This is one area of our lives that we are not talking about.
You got to do it.
I have had to do this conversation with my 17-year-old. This year, he went to South Africa. He needed money. How was he going to operate in South Africa with money? So we had to go get him a bank account, credit card,
the whole thing.
The whole thing. So now he understands how banking actually works. Because even at 17, I hadn't really thought about, I need to start letting this little young man start growing into a man. Because 18, you getting out of my house after that. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I'll tell you, out of 24 students that were in my 10th grade class this week, we have all grades. Only 3 had a bank account.
Wow.
Only 3 out of those.
See, so that's a goal.
Also, the same 3 had a father in their lives, or a male model. The rest of them have no father. No, I don't know if that
parallel.
Yeah, we definitely want to get together. It's what you guys are doing really does matter. What you're doing, your foundation, what you're doing, Linda, with your family. It's going to take that village to make it happen. And one thing I want to say is when we say financial literacy, a lot of people get offended by that, but it's financial education for all of us. It's
right.
It doesn't matter whether what level you're on, what income level you're on. It's so many people, as we didn't have time today to talk about the business owners, but tax-free retirement, just putting basics in place to make sure that your business is covered, that you are covered, that they have disability, they don't have insurance to cover themselves.
If something happens to them,
right. So that should be the first thing, all of those things to replace the income so that you don't have to get rid of you don't have to shut the doors down and, get rid of your vehicles and, you can't meet your payroll, because like you say, you get sick and you're recuperating for a couple months and then what?
Right.
The bankruptcies, the foreclosures, over 80% of those are due to small business owners who gotten sick or ran out of money. So we have solutions to the problem, and the education is on all levels. Right. I mean, even if you're making $1 million a year, we can show you how to protect some of that too, right. Because there's a lot of people who have right now, doing well. They have their money out there. The stocks are doing well. But trust me, the economy is not going to stay the way it is right now. A wave is coming, and most people don't really understand what we work. And we work with education and empowerment to elevate you and make sure that you create the wealth and you can sustain it and transfer that wealth. And we deal with safe money concepts. We're not into investing. We do have a team of advisors. We have financial advisors. We have tax and accountants. I mean, especially if you're a business owner, you need to sit down with us and our accountants so that we can show you how you can save. Right, you don't have to pay Uncle Sam. Time. A lot of business owners right now have not paid their taxes for the year. They did the extension, so September 15th, October is coming up. So it's still not too late to learn how. You don't have to write that check to Uncle Sam. You can keep that money if we set up that retirement plan right. So we just want the opportunity to share that that information. So we can save that for the next show. I'm putting myself on the calendar for the next show.
Absolutely, but I'm a toast to that one because I know I got a lot of business friends, owners out there who are in the community who need some financial education. Hook a sister up. I'm going to hook you up. Right. Hook us up. Get on our page. say I'm in, and I will reach out to you and let you know where the meetings are that's going to be taking place this week here in the city.
For the first 10 women that are business owners that reach out to you today, we're going to give them a special invite for Wednesday or Friday if they can make it.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Right.
So the first 10 women that reach out to our page, Jazzabrations Live, or, hit me up personally, Linda, on Facebook, we got a special invite for you.
First 10.
First 10.
All right.
So make sure you get in there. Some of y'all will get a personal invite anyway, but the first 10 from the show.
Cool.
But so it's been great, Shirley. Thank you for blessing our first year. We're going into our first year, our second year. And it's great that you came off for us to kick it off in this way.
Right.
See how funny how God works? He works in mysterious ways. You never know how things turn out. And I always look at things like there's a message behind how things pan out. And I'm always putting things in the universe because I know once I put it in the universe, then I got to act. So once I act on something, there comes the next steps. Right. So we appreciate you coming in and imparting this wisdom with us. We definitely, we already, and I know in both of our minds got 2 or 3 different things from this that we can initiate, and take it to our communities in different ways. So we look forward.
Well, I'm honored to be a part, and I'm ready.
Yes, we look forward to you guys joining us on the first and third Sundays of the month, right back here on Jazzabrations and Beyond.
At 3 o'clock.
At 3 p.m.
That's right.
That's Pacific Standard Time on the West Coast time. And as always, our number is 323-293-3375. You can always call us in while we're live. Don't try to call us after 4 o'clock because we won't be here.
So if people on the East Coast, real quick, they can call too. They can call in live. Gotcha.
Whatever the time zone is on the East Coast, they just call in while we're here in this hour.
Okay.
And we'll pick up the line and we'll talk to them. And then, because the show is broadcast, you can always go back and listen to it once we're done here at 4 o'clock. So listen, go back, pay attention, write down anything that we said, and share it. Please share it. If I can implore you anything for us to do with our show, share it. The more you share, the more we care, because lots more people get our information. And we thank you so much, Shirley, for being here with us on this Sunday afternoon. My new co-host, I'm just excited, and we have reached that 4 o'clock hour. So thank you, guys. We'll see you next month on the first Sunday.
Peace, love.
Peace.
All right, peace.